Hey everybody, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite gun recommendation for new players in Escape from Tarkov. Now, we're going to be talking about a few different options that will be available to new players, but before we start talking about the weapon setups, I just want to mention that you will need a few trader requirements to make this happen. Prap Ward level 2, Therapist level 2, Skier only level 1, and Peacekeeper level 2. Now you can get Prap War, Therapist, and Peacekeeper all up to level 2 relatively easily by completing tasks and leveling up to level 10. But if you are struggling on getting any of the tasks complete, I have in-depth guides on how to complete every single task in the game, right down to completing the Sniper Challenge Wet Job Part 6, so it's all covered. It's not a difficult task to get to level 10. It should only take you a few hours maximum, and when you do that, you will get access to enough gear, more gear than you actually probably realize. In fact, this gun that you see right here is only built by the trader requirements that I just mentioned above. A fully loaded AKM suppressed with a stubby foregrip, okay recoil control, certainly not the best in its class, but definitely suitable to get the job done, and this is fully capable of killing any fast MT Fort Armor player that will get in your way. And on top of that, that's right, we also have grenades, we have a level 2 helmet and level 2 body armor, we have a car medical, and 2 sets of pains. This again, all from level 2 Prap War, Therapist, and Peacekeeper, and ignoring Skier. The reason why I'm ignoring Skier is because you're most likely going to have level 3 traders with Prap War and Therapist and Peacekeeper by the time that you consider leveling up Skier to 2 or 3, and that's just because of the way the reputation system works with Skier's tasks. But if you do have Skier level 2, then you can do a lot more with your weapon setups, but I'm assuming that you haven't gotten to that point, so let's kind of dive a little bit deeper on some of your weapon selections that you'll have available to you. Alright, so we're back in my messy stash, and I'm just going to scroll down here. So here are a few of my favorite options that I would recommend to new players, and again, all these you will have access to buy these meds. So we're starting off with my #1 favorite recommendation for any new player coming into the game. It's this AKM suppressed. Let's go into the modding window. We have a PBS-1 suppressor. We have the stubby foregrip. We can buy the CAA RS-47 from level 2 Peacekeeper, which is one of the only handguards that you'll have available at the beginning of the game. A SAW pistol grip is pretty decent. It's not as good as the RK3, but since they've reduced the recoil reduction from the RK3 pistol grip, having additional ergonomics through a SAW is not a terrible idea. In fact, some players, even those that have all the traders max, choose the SAW because of its actual style. It might match their AK a little bit better. We have a Tactical Tula 01, which is available from Prap Ward level 2. Which will allow us to mount a PK06 optic, which is available at Skier level 1. Of course, we're using a default stock. If you move ahead and you unlock Prap War level 3, which is pretty easy to do, I would say Prap War is definitely the easiest trader and the one that you'll probably reach level 3 first. You can actually grab a rubber butt pad to increase the recoil control of this weapon. And you'll have access to different types of stocks later in the game. Now, of course, whenever I actually have a conversation about this on Twitch, many people recommend the VEPR. And you know what? The VEPR is not a bad choice. It can also be fitted with the TT-01 and a mount an optic of your choice, a 1X of your choice. It doesn't have the suppressor option that the AKM does. The PBS-1 will not fit on a VEPR. So if you're interested in going suppressed, the AKM suppressed is your best option whenever you have lower level traders. Of course, again, the pistol grip with the SAW, everything else is relatively the same. The only thing that's different is the lack of suppression. And of course, the VEPR 136 cannot go full auto. It is set to semi-automatic. Now, if you're looking for something to kill players at a little bit more of a distance, the only option that you really have available to you is the AK-74N. I can also put the SAW pistol grip on this weapon as well. Unfortunately, you sort of run into the same problem as the VEPR. In the early game, you don't have access to reliable suppressors from the traders. Now, that doesn't say that you can't find one, you just won't have access to an 8K suppressor that will fit the 74N until level 3 Prep War or level 3 Skier. So you're kind of stuck here. But there's really nothing, you don't have to go suppressed all the time, especially the PSO 1M2. This is one of my favorite optics in the game, and I almost always equip it on an AK-74N. And this is a really good option. In fact, I used to recommend this weapon setup to new players before the PBS-1 and the AKM was introduced to the game this past October. Now, on top of that, we still have an AKS here, but you won't get access to mod your AKS until later in the skier tree. The B11 handguard, which will allow you to put a foregrip, and also the additional modifications like the suppressor, the rubber pad for the stock, are only available later on in the game, so you're not going to get the variety that you do with an AKM at the very start. The same can be said about an SKS. This is, again, one of my favorite recommendations for new players. Very strong, powerful, accurate, but you won't have access to put an optic on this particular firearm until later in the skier trading tree, as well as a suppressor, which is only available at level 3. However, even still, the SKS is still one of the most recommended weapons for new players, and I agree with them. If you want to amp up your game, do yourself a favor and remove the SKS rear sights. It's not going to affect your accuracy all that much, but you'll notice that you'll be able to see your iron sight a lot easier. And you'll probably end up spotting targets and landing shots more frequently if you decide to do so. Again, the grenades, the M67s, I was actually surprised to realize that these are available at level 2. And the M67s are, they have the longest fuses of the grenades in the game and can be thrown the furthest. So you don't need to have really good strength levels to throw this grenade very far. It isn't as powerful as the F1 grenade in my opinion, but it is still better than the RGD5, so it's not a bad option. And yes, although you can die from the grenade glitch, I highly recommend going into each raid that you want to seriously complete with 2 options. I also get questions on this all the time. I drag grenades onto my hotbar. Why do I do that? Well, when you put a grenade into your hand, you can right click to underhand throw the grenade instead of chucking it at full force. It's really awesome to actually hold down right click, open a door and chuck one in really quickly. It works a lot better, and the higher strength level that you get, you'll be throwing your grenades really hard and really fast, and the likeliness of that grenade actually bouncing out of the room is pretty high. So that's why I'm throwing my grenades. Now, at the time of making this video, February 15th, 2018, the PRS ammunition is still one of the best default available ammunitions for the AK-74N. It's not as good as a BS round, which is a black tip armor piercing round, but it does surprisingly well versus armor. It has slightly less armor pen value than a PP round, but significantly more damage. So you're trading a lot more damage for a little bit of armor pen sacrifice. And I don't have any problem going through level 3 and even 4 armor using PRS. So it's my recommendation for the AK-74N with the PSO optic. Now for the AKM, you have a few choices at the start. You have the PS round, which can be purchased from Prep War, and you also have the HP round, which can be purchased from Skier level 1. Now you need to be very careful with the HP round. I see a lot of live streamers and content creators recommending this round, but recently there was a little highlight uploaded to the subreddit, and I mean we knew this was going to be the case because this is a hollow point round, but it just goes to show how weak this round is versus armor. Somebody was able to take repeated shots to the face with a fast MT helmet when somebody was using a 7.60x39 HP round, whereas a PS round 1 or 2 taps the helmet. So in my opinion, you shouldn't be going for these HP rounds because the PS is a far better option. It does a decent amount of damage already, but it has the ability to penetrate that armor. And my philosophy in this game is you should always be putting yourself in a situation where you can actually kill a Fort Fast MT player. And with those HP rounds, you simply can't unless you go for leg shots. But in the state of the netcode in the game, going for leg shots versus somebody who's going for a headshot, you will die. I promise you that if you're going up against a competent opponent. So going for those chest to head shots is better, and using this PS round is the way to go. Now we also have access to the Colpack 1S Riot helmet. Now this is actually a level 2 helmet. A lot of people say that this helmet sucks. Well, not too long ago, the Kiver helmet was actually rated as level 2. It was now bumped up to level 3. So nobody really dissed the Kiver beforehand. So when did level 2 armor become quote unquote useless? So I've been seeing this a lot in the Twitch community, and that's just plain wrong. The Colpack 1S helmet is going to protect you from most 9x18 rounds, most non-armor piercing pistol rounds, buckshot, slugs, hatchets, and any other round that has extremely low armor pen rating. That also includes like PSO GZH, a lot of the TT rounds. You're defending yourself from a lot of potential pain, especially player scavs using Taz's with 20 gauge or using 9mm or any other low caliber weapon. Even a VEPR 209 struggles to get through a Colpack. So to call this helmet useless, especially since it's only 8,580 rubles, is a complete farce. So use the Colpack helmet. It's incredibly cheap, and it's going to increase your survival rating. Again, getting Peacekeeper level 2 is really easy because you don't need to currently complete any tasks, and you get it available at level 2. Now for Therapist level 2, again, you get access to these car medicals, and they're really good medical options, multi-purpose medical tools. So you'll probably be using car meds even beyond Soloas up until you get access to IFAC personal tactical first aid kits. So IFACs are amazing. They're available at level 35 though, so you'll most likely be using a lot of car meds up until that point. Painkillers are available for purchase at level 1, and you should always have at least 2 on you in every single raid. And balaclava for swag if you're into that sort of thing. And that wraps up the beginner's loadout guide for 0.7.3.9. The new patch is going to be introducing a new trader called the Mechanic and a Glock 17 with over 30 different attachments for the weapon. There's going to be a large variety of different Glock 17s in the game, and it's currently 9mm, which is a little disappointing to me simply because the Glock comes in many different calibers and we already have a lot of 9mm pistols already, and I really hope that the developers introduce some new 9mm rounds to go along with it. Maybe some AP 9mm rounds or something a little bit different. That would be kind of nice. If you found this video useful and informative, be sure to subscribe for more Escape from Tarkov guides and gameplay. And if you're interested, check out my daily live stream every single morning starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon. And you can ask your questions live, or you can leave some in the comment section below. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and I just wanted to include this scumbag in the video. If you see this guy around, just let him know how much of a shithead he is.